My God, Kevin Iole, what have you done, my friend? A couple of weeks ago, to give you backstory here, Kevin Iole stood up to Dana White on his podcast, which he hosted Dana White for an interview, in which he was asking questions regarding Jon Jones and his pound-for-pound status and his GOAT status, in which Dana likes to conflate GOAT and pound-for-pound into one category. Pound-for-pound, just for anybody who doesn't already know, is how every fighter that is at the top of the divisions stacks up against everyone else if they all weighed the exact same. So like a Derek Lewis, big old fat Derek Lewis, and his power, how would he match up if he was the same size as a Davison Figueiredo? Pound for pound, how much power do they have in those punches? That's what we're talking about. How does a Charles Oliveira, who's quick and slick on the ground with his submissions, a dangerous finisher, match up against a long, rangy wrestler, striker type, like a Curtis Blades, who likes to, just jab at range and shoot long takedowns? How does Charles Oliveira, if they weighed the exact same, match up against those guys? You're telling me that a Charles Oliveira wouldn't just wrap up and twist up a Curtis Blades if they were the same size, the exact same weight, like he would do against any bum he would be fighting at otherwise lightweight? Come on now. How would guys like Israel Adesanya match up against the quick, aggressive, technically well-rounded flyweights? He'd get smashed. Somebody like Drickus, who fights a little wild, would probably get wrapped up and twisted up in a pretzel by one of these bantamweights who's got power in their hands and is super fast and technical on the ground. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So, if you matched up weight class per weight class, the guys, how do they match up? Well, Jon Jones has no power in his hands, has good wrestling, good trips, smart fight IQ, and that's pretty much it. How does that physically match up against somebody who would be the same size as you? We know Jon Jones does worse in performances when he weighs the similar or is in about the same height bracket as others. Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, later in his career, Dominic Reyes, didn't work out so well, didn't have such blowout defeats over old guys like Shogun Rua and Dan Henderson. Let's get to the meme here because I find it hilarious. Every journalist in the room when Kevin Iole the other night after the Contender Series, Kevin Iole was resurrected from the bowels, from his jowls he arose, and debated Dana White over Jon Jones. Kevin Iole, don't agree with him on everything that he says. He's still one of these mainstream journalists that mostly pisses me off, but goddamn, this guy's got fucking balls of steel, man. Kevin Iole is a gangster in there. An absolute stud. He stood up to Dana White and didn't give a fuck. And all the other journalists are waiting, bated breath. What is Kevin Iole gonna say? What's he gonna do? Kevin Iole stood toe-to-toe with Dana White. Dana White was fighting it for 10, 12 minutes. You can go check out. I know MMA Guru's got a funny video on it if you want to get into all the breakdown minutia of it. I just want to put out a little props and appreciation for Kevin Iole. This dude's a fucking stud. He's been in the game for years and years and years. Boxing, combat sports, all across the board. This guy's a stud. He's going to stand up when something needs to be said. Does he stand up every time? No, because it probably doesn't matter to him. It's not a politically divisive reason enough for him to get into it. But this blasphemy from Dana White is just going crazy right now. You can pick up Jon Jones and try to promote a fight between him and Tom Aspinall, but you cannot disparage our boy Tom Aspinall, who's probably the best heavyweight of all time already, and he's barely even started. Okay, he's barely even gotten started, and he's arguably already one of the best heavyweights of all time. And Jon Jones in here? Pound for pound GOAT. This guy is the pound for pound king. He's the GOAT of all time. Dana White, absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. You can say that type of shit without disparaging Tom Aspinall. Kevin Iole, I love you, brother. Standing on business. That's what we need to see from these MMA media members. We need to get some young bloods in here. Some new crew up in the gap. Fill those gaps. Come on, Dana. Back down, buddy. It's over. When Kevin Iole and John Morgan, the Jowl brothers, as MMA Guru said, I like that line. It's good. I can't take that away from him. Gotta use it. When the Jowl brothers come to play, you might be doing something wrong, buddy. We'll see you, Dana White. Next time, buddy. We're gonna oil you up. We're gonna get that oil. Olive oil, sesame seed oil, whatever it is. We're gonna oil you up. Okay, you hear me? Next time you come messing with the Jowl brothers, mainly Kevin Iole, the king, the pound for pound Jowl brother king, Kevin Iole. Don't mess with the brother. Okay?